Hi everyone, and welcome to your first science video of the year. We'll spend a lot of time this week getting to know one another, and I wanted to start by sharing a little about me. At the end of this video, I will also direct you in how to share information about you. So this is my Dear Students letter, or video. So Dear Students from Miss Brown. And in the background there is a bunch of moths that I collect, and let's zoom in on one. This was my master's project, so science is something that I am deeply interested in, both in teaching it, but then also on a personal level. So a little about my background. I went to the University of Vermont for most of my undergraduate, but then I also graduated from the University of Vermont with a master's degree as well, which is what the moth study was working on. But I did spend 1 year in Hawaii studying marine science during my undergrad years. And then, as some of you already know, I spent some time teaching in Kenya. I spent 2 years teaching high school science in Kenya. Before that, I was teaching in high schools in Oregon about native plants and land restoration. But I've had a lot of odd jobs as well. So here, I've got a chainsaw, kind of scary. But I worked for my brother who owns an arborist company cutting down trees. So I've definitely had some odd jobs in between my teaching career. But then also I wanted to show my family because I can't talk about my background without my family. They're very supportive and very important to me. And this is, they came to visit me in Kenya, so this is a picture of them and me in Kenya. What do I like to do outside of school? I love trying to find interesting things about our natural world and the outdoors, and I'm always drawn to insects. I also spend lots of time with my little kitty. His name is Usiku, which means night in Kiswahili. And I'm pretty active, so I'm often running, or last summer I hiked the Long Trail. And I'm actually getting to know Craftsbury through running the road. So if you happen to see me running on back roads in Craftsbury and I look lost, stop to make sure I'm not. And I wanted to share with you some of my goals for this year. So one of my goals is to get to know all of you, to know how you learn best, and we'll talk more about that this week. And then how to create an environment that helps you learn best. And I want to challenge you. So a challenge will look different for each one of you, and certainly not challenge to the point of frustration, but I want you to be challenged in science in a very healthy way. I want to continue to learn about the science that I'm teaching and passionate about on a deeper level. So I said that I am really excited about science on my own time too, and so I want to keep doing that as I'm teaching. And I want to get outside and explore Craftsbury through running, hiking, skiing, and biking. I last year was teaching at Mount Mansfield Union High School, and all of my Nordic students were very jealous that I was moving to Craftsbury because of the Nordic skiing. But I've already done some running and hiking, and I've done biking just back and forth from school and home. But I look forward to all of that as well. And what I love about science, so I love that I can use science to explain phenomena that I notice about our natural world, and it gives me a different lens to look at the world. So this creature on the right is something that looked to me like a cross between a spider and a scorpion that I saw in Kenya, and I was going back and forth about whether it was a spider, whether it was a scorpion, and it turns out that it's kind of a combo of the two. It's still an arachnid, but being able to look that up and figure out how we classify that spider scorpion kind of explained what I was noticing about this creature. I love that our scientific knowledge is always advancing, and our science foundational knowledge comes from this process of evaluating, re-evaluating data. So we'll look at kind of the history of why we know what we know in science, and what we'll find is that we're constantly correcting what we've learned in the past or adding to what we've learned in the past, and that's pretty fascinating to me. And also that learning and discovering something new in science will lead to more questions and more discoveries. We're never going to be done. We'll always have questions to ask. So now it is your turn. So your assignment is to explain a little about yourself to me. And this isn't something that you have to share or need to share or expect you to share with the rest of the class, but I want to get to know you. So I would like you to include a little background about you, what you like to do outside of class, what you enjoy about science and or school, and what your goals are for the year. And these can be goals that are school goals, preferably include one school goal, but they can also be goals outside of school. And you can do this in many different ways. So I did a video. You could do a photo story, you could write a poem, you could write me a letter, or you could use some type of creative artistic representation. Or another way that I didn't list here. That's really up to you. So that is your challenge.